Right, ladies and gents, the Bentley GT. I think these represent absolutely fantastic value for money. We could do quite a few of these. We normally have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 around at any one time. I think we've got 2 or 3 at least now kicking around. A couple of convertibles, I think, another hardtop. This particular car, we handled the sale of this some time back, a couple of years ago, I think now, pushing on that way, and to a family friend of ours. It's just come back in, but basically not using it. So it's come back in now. He drove it up. The only thing I can fault is the gas struts are a bit weak on the bonnet. Drove it up yesterday. I'll tell you a bit more as I go round. Just a bit, it nearly stayed up just now. It'll be out of the, there she goes. Yeah, but then it does slow up because I did want it to slam. There you go, it does slow up. So yeah, anyway, that's a minor thing, isn't it? So it's probably 2 out of the 4 assisters there might be a bit weak. Now, a few notes there by the vendor. Obviously, we know it's a Bentley Continental GT, 4-wheel drive, they all are, 12 months MOT, 4 tyres, wheels are refurb, replaced both batteries, and that's the important thing with these is voltage. Top suspension arms, all 4 have been replaced, full service history, 14 stamps, and runs perfect. There you go. That's a little bit summary of the car. Black on black, forgiving combination in it. I like a dark interior. I don't like it too bright inside. I like a nice dark interior. So that suits me down to the ground. If you remember, I done a video last sale of a GTC, a convertible. Again, black on black, my choice. So we'll just jump in. Oh, lovely place to be inside. 95,000 miles, so she's done a few, but they do it well. And I had a conversation with someone once, a big Bentley guy, and I'll just repeat what he said, and I think it was because we had a fairly high mileage one in at the time, and he said the high mileage ones, he said, are the ones that don't give you any bother because people use them. He said it's the low mileage ones that give you bother, he said, because they don't use them. So they spend lots of time just parked up, and these things like to be used, don't they? So he's probably got a point there. So that's it inside. Quick look around the boot area. Triangles in there. Standard stuff in here. The batteries have both been replaced, he says, so that's great because, like I say, they are voltage sensitive. One battery starts dropping off a cell, that pulls the other battery down, then gives you all sorts of funny faults which you think are going to cost you a fortune. End of the day, it's a battery. So 9 times out of 10, I think it's the right hand side that powers up as far as like the cranking and starts the car, the left hand side auxiliary. That tends to be the one that faults, or that tends to be the one that you don't replace, because if it starts, you think it can't be the battery because it's starting. But anyhow, so both batteries have been done. This works as it should. There's a button on the door then. I just pressed the button, that came up on its own. The little spoiler thing, I haven't checked that, but I'm sure that was working. Certainly working last time. Information there. Incidentally, before I forget the rear spoiler, I'm not guaranteeing it works, but it was working and I'm sure it will be now. Windows are working as well as they should. There you go, back one just drops down a little one, boom, then back up again. Another little hiccup they have sometimes. And that's about it. I think probably one of the most attractive cars on the road today, certainly from the front. New one today will cost you something like 165,000 quid. Which makes these cheap, doesn't it? My brother's had one, loved it to bits, but again, never used it enough. But he'll get another one. I fancy one. I've actually never owned one myself personally, so I'm going to get myself one because I think A, I think they're fantastic value for money. B, if you watch and look at the market, they're actually going back up again. People are cottoning on to the fact they are fantastic value, and prices are rising. So not just for that, but it's nice to know you've got an appreciating asset that you enjoy as opposed to a depreciating asset, isn't it? So that's not the be all and end all. You buy them because you want one and you like them, don't you? Anyhow, I'll stop waffling. It's on display at Pickering. It's here in good time. The main viewing period really is that week or 10 days before a sale, for two reasons. A, the vehicles are on site just in case you fancy looking at something else. B, they're stationary, so you're not going to get run over. Anyhow, oh, I tell you what we'll do, nearly forgot. Service Jack, I think, young Jack, got two Jacks now, has laid out the packs. Lots of paperwork there for it. 14 stamps, so there will be 14 stamps, if that's what he says on there. It will be right. They're all here. Bentley, 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 GT Services, GT Services, GT Services. There you go. So there it all is, guys. Come down, have a look. Fantastic value for money.